Thanks, Dave. But you forgot to mention that my senior year in high school, I was valedictorian of my class, class president, voted most popular, voted most likely to succeed, and voted most outstanding athlete. Thank goodness for homeschooling. My mom just loved me. I was also homecoming king and queen. Things I tried to do that self might not, but I was good. I was kind of behaved anyhow. I'm the oldest of 7. Anybody the oldest in here? That's how I learned how to dance, waiting to go to the bathroom. Anybody else have that experience? We were poor growing up. In fact, we were so poor, I remember peanut butter came in a tin can, cheese came in a cardboard box, all saying not for resale. In fact, we were so poor, my mom and dad paid with groceries with funny money, and the clothes I wore were never worn, but worn by somebody else first, not by me. And also, then I know it's like to struggle. It's like to be poor. In fact, we were so poor we couldn't afford smoke detectors. So my dad, being very creative, he hung Jiffy Pop around the house. To this day, when I hear popcorn pop, I stop, drop, and roll. It's kind of embarrassing, but you know, habits are hard to break. If you watch me limp up here right now, it's because I just coming off a serious accident. I was riding a horse the other day. I fell off, got my foot caught in the stirrup, and thank goodness the manager from Kmart came over and unplugged the machine. Otherwise, there'd probably been a lot of. Actually, it's L4, L5, L6. I'm not sure what it is, but it's painful right now. I really don't have a canned speech. I do this because I absolutely love being with people. I love to hear people laugh, and I enjoy life. I have a passion for life. Most of my topics are talked about it's your attitude, it's your day, make it a good one. And I think attitude is very important. That's how I ended my daily announcements at Logan Middle School. And yet today, kids will come up to me, hey, Mr. Fish, it's your attitude, it's your day, have a good one. They may not get the whole quote right, but they understand that attitude and having a great day is important. Got an activity for you, and I've only got 9 minutes, so I have to do this really fast. Take the word attitude and write it down. Write it down this way. I usually have a PowerPoint. A-T-T-I-U-T-E, just spell it right, attitude. And right behind the letters, I want you to put a numerical number. That numerical number is number 1. A is the first letter of the alphabet, put a 1 there. And I'm going to help you out here. T is without taking shoes and socks off, is the 20th letter. So you put the next T for you gifted people is still 20. So finish that out. A-T-T-U-D. Finish all those out. And put a numerical number, A, B, C, D, F. And when you get done with that, oh, I got to look at the fingers going and the toes. And if I had my PowerPoint, you'd see that. Add all those numbers up. And what do you get when you get a number? Shout it out. 100. 100%. Add all those numbers. Isn't that sweet? Yeah, that's really sweet. To me, your attitude, I think, is very important. It could be your best friend, your biggest enemy. It could be the difference between winning and losing, success and failure, being happy or not so happy. But the good news is you get to decide your attitude every day. What kind of attitude do you come to work with? What kind of attitude does your coworkers come to work with? Isn't that so important? I also try to use safe humor, which is hard to find in my presentations. For example, I once tripped on an escalator and fell down for an hour and a half. I've been told that marriage is a relationship where one person's always right, the other person's called a husband. Any Vegas goers here? Anybody go to Vegas? I have learned, this is how I'm going to go to Vegas. I am just going to buy a pack of cigarettes, eat it, and put $500 in a shredder and just save the plane fare because that's kind of luck I have right now. I do share my thoughts also on communication skills, how important they are, body language, voice tone, body mannerisms, what they mean in your business to communicate with people and how you do that. How do you deal with difficult people? You have any of those on your staff? Oh, yeah, there's some out there. To me, education is all about building relationships. I think it's about relationships. And I think in your organization, is that not true? And how I build relationship with kids at Logan Middle School is I notice statements. I notice that you're in the choir. I notice that you sing. I notice that you play an instrument. I notice you play ball. I noticed. And that's how you build relationships because then you're making deposits with people. And sometimes you got to make a withdrawal. If you make, sometimes like a checking account, you put money in, then you can take it out. You understand that. You put money in, then you can write checks. My kids don't understand that, but you understand that part. Making deposits so you can make withdrawals. Stress. Anybody have stress here? I talk about how to deal with some stress. I talk about people to hang around with when you're stressed out. I call them warm cocoon people because they embrace you. They make you feel good. Do you have warm cocoon people in your life? Then I talk about people to avoid, and those people I call energy drainers. Energy drainers, they just suck it right out of you. I've seen some of those people walk down the halls. They look like they've been weaned on a dill pickle all their life, you know, sourpuss look. I see them walking down the schools, and they're just sucking energy. The kids are sliding down the lockers onto the floor, and I'm coming in. I noticed, I know. I'm picking these kids up and trying to make I noticed statements to make deposits. So anyhow, I share those thoughts. Anybody hear of the airplane theory? How about the iceberg theory? Well, in only 9 minutes, you're not going to hear about it today either. How about building relationships with people? Want to know more about those? Let me know. Another topic I think is laughter. I think laughter is so important. Share thoughts on the value of laughter, how good it is for your health, how important it is to you. Laughing is very important. I just read a study right now about how bad alcohol is for you. Again, another study. So I read that. So I personally decided to quit. I'm not going to read anymore. I'm just done. It just interferes. Hopefully, if you're not humor impaired, you'll leave my presentation with a smile on your face and maybe a little bit healthier. Also, I have a serious side to me. I'm not always a wild, crazy guy, because I do get serious once in a while. Do you know your personality is developed by the age of 10, unless you have an SEE, a significant emotional event in your life? Share more about that, too. I've always enjoyed life. I always see the glass as full, maybe half water and half air, but it's full. 5 words have caused me to, I think, tweak my life a little bit and to think about life a little bit more. Those 5 words were, I don't, you have cancer. I got that phone call one time when I was sitting in my recliner at home. And, well, in fact, when I'm in my recliner, I just found out because I'm retired, my daughter told me my favorite word now is sensuous. And I said, sensuous? That sounds kind of nice, doesn't it? Sensuous. My favorite word is sensuous? And she says, yeah, Dad. I said, well, what do you mean? So, well, you sit in your recliner, and you get the remote in your hand, and as soon as one of us gets up, you'll say, sensuous up, why don't you? I was sitting in my recliner when I got that phone call one night, and the guy on the other end of my phone said, he called me up, and I said, hello, and he said, can you talk? And I said, sure, if you got some good news. And he said, I don't. You have cancer. I looked over at my daughter, and something must have come over me because my daughter said, what's the matter, Dad? And I said, nothing, I got to go talk to this gentleman. And the first thing the gentleman told me is that we can give you 10 to 12 years if we do nothing. And of course, I thought maybe we'll look at plan A, B, and C after that. Then I walked back out, I looked at my daughter. I have 2 daughters and a son. I looked at my daughter, both of them are beautiful children and beautiful dancers, and I asked myself, what if there wasn't any more? What if there wasn't any more? What if I never saw my daughter dance again? What if I never saw my son's artwork again? My son is a great bowler. He's already bowled 300 games already, and he just turned 20 today. What if there wasn't any more? And I'll talk about that a little bit, and talk about what if there wasn't any more. Building relationships with the people. How about the F word? Every time I say that, I get their attention. What do you do in life to have fun? Or maybe you're not doing some fun things. How does that enter with stress in your health? Yes, folks, we'll talk about that. And also, here's an attitude that I see my time's almost. Here's an attitude that I didn't know how to handle my first year as a middle school principal. A parent we were having trouble with this one young man named Johnny, and the 6th grade teachers came down and said, Roger, would you call the parent up and tell them we're having trouble with Johnny? Maybe make a phone call and see if they can come in and we can talk about what's going on. And I said, sure. That's what principals do, make phone calls and talk. And so I called up Mrs. Smith, and I said, Mrs. Smith, this is Roger Fish, principal of Logan Middle School, calling. We're having trouble with your son, Johnny, right now. I was wondering if you could come in. It's been 6 weeks of school. We don't know what to do right now. So could you come over and maybe talk? And she said, well, Mr. Fish, I had him all summer, never called you once, and hung up on me. So with that, I said there was another thing I had to do. Well, they also asked us not to do this, but, times are tough. I'm going to have 3 years in college, 3 kids in college next year. And I don't write any articles. I didn't write any books yet, but I did bring some of my tapes. So I just want to share those with you. And I will sell those for $10 or here they are. Here's one, the Everly Brothers, Creedence Clearwater, and Gary Lewis and the Playboys. It's your attitude, it's your day. Make it a good one. Thanks, folks.